Welcome to this quick tip video in which I'm going to address the question, does PJC or your own custom screens integrate with bin tracking? My name's Anne from Orchid Systems. PJC transactions create IC transactions for the associated stock movements like material usage or material returns. You can configure custom screens like PJC screens or your own custom screens. Any screen that creates an associated IC transaction can be configured for bin tracking. In bin tracking, you can configure such that bin tracking recognizes the custom screen is running, and for that screen you can configure is the bin transfer document auto-created or manually created, and if you're auto-creating, do you want to auto-allocate the bins and the rules under which you're going to allocate the pick or put away bins, and whether or not you want the screen to auto-pop up when the document entry posts and the stock movement is created. In this example, I'm going to use a PJC screen. PJC material usage creates an IC shipment, and the roto ID or screen ID is PM2040. If you create yourself a UI file in the bin tracking programs directory, you can call it whatever you want, and in that file you have the entries for the screens that you want to configure for bin tracking. So in this case, you configure the module ID, PM, the version, 70A, the screen ID or roto ID, PM2040, a description that is going to appear in the bin tracking options on the pick method tab, and then IC shipment is the type of IC document that gets created. In this case, an IC shipment, but it could be an IC adjustment or an IC receipt. And if you have this UI file in your programs directory, your bin tracking programs directory, when bin tracking starts, it will find any UI files in the programs directory and add the entries that are needed into the picking method tab. So in this case, we've got the PJC material usage, which creates an IC shipment. And we've configured it to automatically create the bin transfer during posting. The status is going to be ready for pick or put away, and the auto pick method is going to be based on our least recent put away. So first in, first out. And we're going to auto pop up the bin transfer screen when the IC shipment is created from the material usage screen. And this is documented in this knowledge base article. And you can see how to configure either your own custom screen for the module MY, for example, or the PJC example that I'm demonstrating now. Having a look at this in Sage 300 in my company Orc Ltd, first, looking at the bin tracking programs directory, I have put a text file in there called pjc.ui, and when I open that up, you can see it's configured for the PM module, version 70A, the roto ID or screen ID PM2040, the description of the screen, and the type of IC transaction that gets created. This can be IC shipment, IC adjustment, or IC receipt. And looking in PJC, in our PJC transactions, the material usage screen or the roto ID is PM2040, and that is why our configuration row is working for PM2040. When bin tracking started in this company, it first looked to see if there was any UI files in the programs directory, and because it found the PJC UI, With this entry, it has added PJC material usage for IC shipment into the picking method tab. And here we can configure how we want bin tracking to work for this screen. We want the bin transfer to be created automatically during posting. The status should be ready for pick or put away. And this is a pick, so we're going to configure it to auto pick based on our least recent put away. So that is first in, first out. And we do not want the screen to auto pop up when we post in PJC. Having done that, now we could go ahead and do our PJC transaction. And we're going to create a material usage record for our project 1002 and issue 3 of these. When the document posts, bin tracking will pick up the configuration row for PM 020 and create an associated bin transfer document accordingly. We will see this on the pick status screen as it was configured not to auto pop up around the PJC transaction. The picking status screen shows all incomplete transactions. We can double click to open up the IC shipment that was created by the material usage, or double click to open up the bin transfer document. And from here we can see the items to be picked. Bin tracking has used the auto allocation method of least recent put away and allocated the particular bins, and when we save the document it will be set to complete because it's fully picked. And now that bin transfer, because it's no longer open, drops off the picking status screen. And by creating a UI file in the bin tracking programs directory, you can add any screen that creates an IC, OE or PO stock movement, and you can configure bin tracking to create the associated transaction and for the bins to be allocated according to your rules. Thank you for your time in reviewing this video. We have seen how to configure bin tracking to work with PJC screens, the material usage. Please go to our website, orchid.systems, for more information on bin tracking.